Great。OK， 咁啊第二個啦 ，item 嘅樣都應該有啦，係咪？嚇，即係好正常嘅呢兩個就，即係你可以咁樣去比較翻啦。譬如如果記得嘅話啦嚇 ，OK， 你喺Android 上高做個 adapter view， 都要 set 翻呢兩個噶嘛，係嘛？即係譬如你 Android 上高做個 adapter view， 你都要話俾佢聽，喂，咁我 data 係乜嘢？跟住然之後咁，你都要俾翻個 item 嘅 layout 佢嘅。至多你唔自己 customize 嘅，用佢 default 都唔係 default 嘅，用佢本身 system 有嘅一啲 layout 係嘛？即係如果你想即係靚仔啲嘅，我哋自己 custom 埋個 layout set 落去嗰個 adapter view 嗰度都得嘅。同一個道理啦，咁呢度都係有個 data source 有自己定義嘅一個 item 嘅 layout 係嘛？咁啊，只不過咧下低呢個咧就 optional， 頭先你都見到啦，係嘛？個 separator 你可以唔要啊，唔要咪就係咁咯，係嘛？嚇，呢個就 optional 噶啦。OK， 咁但係正常頭嗰兩個咧都應該走唔甩嘅，嘛？如果唔係你又冇 source， 又唔知個樣係點，咁你 display 唔到啲嘢，啲 content 噶嘛。OK， 就係個 return statement 啦。OK，actually just would like to review again about the return statement. Actually, in each function component, basically related to the mobile application design, the return statement always return view of your application. That means the UI design of your application. Okay. For example, here the return statement just simply composed of the thread list. It simply refer to your application that it only composed of one or single thread list and no other UI component. Okay. And then the last one is the styling of the item that's used in your application. For example, here, the item style just refer to the style of each item. For example, such as the background color, and then the margin in vertical and horizontal orientation. Okay. And then the style of the title. That means here, the text component. Okay, set up the font size. For example, if you can of course change it to a smaller one. Okay, it depends also. 嗱，咁最後嗰個 style 就好簡單啫嚇，咁啊 set 翻少少item 嗰個 view 嘅一啲 style 啦，同埋嗰個顯示嗰個 textual 嘅 information 嘅一個 font size 啦。OK， 咁就完成呢一個 example 係嘛嚇，唔複雜啦。And then section list. Actually, for the section list, it helps you to provide section in your list. Okay, as its name. Okay. It also shares similar idea or feature when compared with the fetch list, such as cross-platform or header footer separator. Okay. All these kinds of features are just similar to the fetch list as mentioned. Here, just would like to show you the implementation about this section list. Okay. Let's see. As it is a little bit lengthy, therefore I just separate into two slides, two PowerPoint slides. Okay. It is the appearance of the list when using section list in React Native framework. You can see that the section component is introduced. Okay, the color in yellow is just the item contents, just same as the one used in the thread list. Okay. And then the items that in light blue color is the section A, section B, section C. It just used to list out all the fruits. Okay, that start in letter A, B, C, L, or M. Okay. For this reason, we can use section list here. Okay, just a simple example about the use of section list. For the using of section list, of course, the data we use here contain the section information such as the letter A, B, C, L, and M. It is just the one that displayed in the section. Okay. Using the light blue color. And then the second one is the data. Just include different name of fruit that start with letter A, B, C, L, or M. Okay, that is the data source. 嗱，咁呢度咧就想 demonstrate 嗰個 section list。你見到咧，所謂 section list 咧就可以幫你分 section 嘅。咁啊啲 item 當然都係之前嗰個概念啦，係咪？只不過多咗個所謂 section， 即係譬如我而家想將啲嘢分類 ，OK， 有好多生果，但係咧每一個生果佢嗰個開頭個字母唔一樣嘅，譬如我想 list 翻 A 字頭嘅生果、B 字頭嘅生果、C、L、M 字頭嘅生果，咁我哋咧就可以分 section 啦 ，A、B、C、L、M 啦。咁而你要咁做嘅時候，當然你嗰個 data list 咧要對翻啦，係咪？即係 data array 啦，我係咁講嚇。咁譬如我有一個叫做 letter 嘅，咁就係講翻個 section A、B、C、L、M 嘅 ，OK。跟住另外有 data 嘅，就係關於嗰個生果名啦，得唔得嚇？咁就要 set up 翻一個 data source 係咁嘅樣嘅嚇。當然都係嗰句啦，你可以 fetch from 呢個 JSON 都得㗎嚇，得唔得嚇？咁啊，只不過我而家就砌埋喺呢度咧，就方便做翻個示範俾大家睇啫。OK。跟住咧 ，style 呢啲見過啦，咁我就唔詳細再講啦。OK，actually the use of style sheet is just similar to the previous example. Okay. Instead of two style here, also provide a loop or another style that's related to the section A, B, C, L, and M. Okay. Font size light blue is the color. And then it is the function component used in this application program. First of all, we also set up the layout of each item. Okay, it is just same as the one used in the first list. Set up the events handling, and then show the name of each item. The name is the one used in the data array, just the name of the fruit. Okay. And then also the header component, that is the one highlighted in light blue color. Okay. It also just consists of a text component to show the letter. Letter is the A, B, C, L, and M that is defined within this data array. Okay. And then the events handling just show up an alert. OK， 嗱咁呢度咧就即係我都好簡單咁交代一下，因為同其實之前嘅 flat list 都好似嘅。當然佢多啲嘢嚇，即係譬如你想 set up 翻嗰個header 嘅一個 style， light blue font size 20，咁你整個 style 落去俾佢啦，得唔得？咁跟住咧嗰個 item 嘅 layout 啦，砌咗啦，頭先或者係用翻之前嗰個啦嚇，得唔得啊？咁純粹一個 text 嘅啫。冇其他啦，又好似頭先咁樣係嘛？咁另外啦，多樣嘢嘅就係嗰個 section header 嘅 layout 嚇 ，OK， 咁就係譬如淺藍色font size 咁呢啲加 style 嘅嘢就冇乜特別啦，係嘛？咁又係一個 text 嚟啫。咁只不過咧入邊嘅內容咧就係 section dot letter 就係呢一個嚇。咁呢度最麻煩嘅，你要對翻啲嘢咧冇乜特別嘅。或者對對嘅時候就之前 flash list 就得個 item， 咁你照對翻啲 item 入邊嘅嗰啲名title whatever 你中意啦嚇。咁去到section list 咧就多樣嘢就叫 section header 咁解啦嚇。 咁啊，但係都係照對嘅啫。咁你喺個 data source 度，咁啊，梗係有啲 information 關於個 header 噶啦，或者 session header 啦，係嘛？譬如 letter 係咪？咁咪照對咯，得唔得嚇？咁啊，基本上啦，同你玩 item 係差唔多嘅啫，嚇，即係只不過顯示出嚟嘅時候，咁啊多個即係 option 啦，叫做 section 嘅 header。但係咧，成個玩法啦，就同你玩 item 係差唔多嘅啫，係嘛？即係你又係 set 翻個 layout 俾個 session header，咁亦都係透過即係個 input 啦嚇，呢度叫 section 啦嚇，點去攞翻你想顯示嘅一啲資料。譬如我想顯示翻嗰個letter A B C L M 嘅，咁咪得 letter 咯，係咪嚇？得唔得嚇？咁呢個即係如果你大概掌握到個 thread list 咧、session list 咧，都係咁用法嚇，都係嗰句多咗啲嘢啫，多咗個 session header。當然你個 data source 亦都要多個 component 嚟關於 session header 嗰個資料啦，A B C L M 啊 whatever 嚇，你中意即係咩資料嘅一啲 data，咁你 set 翻落去嗰個 data source 嗰度咧，咁就用到噶啦，得唔得嚇？咁啊，用嘅時候亦都係一樣啦，多一樣嘢。Once you use the session list within your program, it include the basic two items, section, render item. That means the layout of the item, together with the third one, render session header. Okay, that is the session header. C, B, A, L, and M. All these are the render section header. Okay, this render item. OK， 咁啊好清楚啦，係咪？即我意思係希望掌握到啦，係嘛？即係關於成個 session list 嘅用法。咁啊，至於用邊個嘅，咁當然睇翻你嘅需要嚇，即係都係嗰句啊，你要分類嘅 session list 啊，唔需要分類嘅，一次過碌晒佢出嚟嚇，同一個 level 嘅就 thread list 就係咁簡單啦嚇，得唔得？咁都係嗰句用起上嚟咧，即係比起你寫一啲native 嘅 program 咪簡單好多，因為佢砌好晒啲嘢俾你，你對位咁樣放翻佢落去就係㗎啦，得唔得啊？咁當然啦，咁你都要砌啲嘢嚟對位對落去啦，係咪啊？即係要砌翻兩個 layout 咯 ，item 嘅 layout 啦，同埋 section header 嘅 layout 咯，跟住咧砌好啦，咁你就放翻落去個 render item 同埋 section header 嘅嗰個 attribute 上高。咁就完成咗成個 section list 嘅 construction，set 埋個 data source， 咁你嗰個嘅 section list 就會有埋餡，可以直接 show 到出嚟俾個 user， 得唔得嚇 ？OK， 咁呢兩個同一個系列入邊，咁所以用起上嚟都非常之近似，你會見到。OK，actually when you use the section list, it's quite similar to the thread list as they belong to the same categories. OK，when you use session list, one more attribute you have to use is the render session header, okay, which allows you to categorize those items by means of, for example, here, the letter, okay. Therefore, when you use either thread list or section list, basically, they also require you to include the data source and then the layout of the item. There is an extra attribute that you have to define within the section list is the render section header. That's corresponding to the layout design of the header, corresponding to each section. Okay, that is the additional component you have to use when you use the session list. Okay, so that's within this function component, two layout design should be defined. One is corresponding to the item and the other one is corresponding to the session header. Okay, that is the difference. Okay, and then maybe we can complete this last component and then have a short break, okay, and finish the remaining after the break. The last is the others. Of course, the other actually include more components, okay. Let's compare with this slice illustration. I simply pick out one component for illustration, others components here. That is the alert, and it is already used in the last week tutorial also. Okay. In order to show some basic information or notification to the user, we can use alerts. As specified in the last week tutorial, in different mobile platform, they also provide you alerts for you to use. Okay. For example, at the beginning of the course, we also demonstrate how to use alerts in Android platform. Okay. For this example, just would like to show you some simple configuration about use the alert. Okay. Basically, when we are going to use alert in React Native, it provides you the alert API. Okay. For this alert API, you can generate an alert with 1, 2, or 3 button, which is quite similar to the one in Android platform. Okay. And then instead of these 3 different alerts can be generated, actually one kind of so-called cancelable button. Cancelable button alert can also be generated with the help of the React Native framework. What is the difference between these so-called cancelable button is that you can simply click on any position of your screen in order to cancel this dialog. Okay, maybe I simply show you by using the demonstration. Okay, and also it is a little bit lengthy, therefore I just simply include in 2 PowerPoint slides. Okay. The first one is cancelable button. That means you are not required to click on the codes in order to dismiss this dialog. You can simply click on any available area within the screen. Okay, and then this dialog will be disappeared. That is the cancelable button alert. Okay, and then 1 button alert, there is only 1 button. 2 button, and then 3 button. Okay, this is what you can configure when you use alert in the React Native framework. 嗱，咁呢度咧就 show 埋嗰個 button 係咪 alert 俾大家睇一睇。咁我哋用過啊，不過咧嗰陣時就1粒掣啦。咁除咗1粒掣之外，其實你係可以有2粒掣、3粒掣都得嚇。咁你做 Android 嗰啲都係嘅嚇。即係如果你有學過，咁可能你會知，即係你喺 Android 做啲 alert 啦，咁你可以做1粒掣、2粒掣、3粒掣都 OK 嘅其實嚇。咁啊當然啦，極限啦。咁極限意思係咩咧？即係你用佢本身最基本嘅一個處理3粒掣就極限啦。咁當然啦，你可以再 customize 即係個 dialog 個樣嘅，咁呢啲亦都係後話啦，係咪？OK， 咁第一個叫 cancelable 嘅一個 button alert 啦，即係咩意思咧？就係話呢一個所謂 cancelable 咧，你唔一定要撳 close 㗎，你求其揾個位撳咧，佢都會消失嘅。咁但係其他啲唔係嘅，其他嗰啲咧，你喺其他位撳咧，佢唔會消失㗎，你一定要撳翻個粒掣，佢先會消失。咁呢個 cancelable 同埋唔係 cancelable 嘅一個分別啦，得唔得嚇？咁你要做到一個 cancelable 嘅 alert 咧，咁加樣嘢俾佢啫嚇，非常簡單啦。OK， 就係呢個 cancelable true， 咁佢就變成一個 cancelable 嘅一個 button， 你點樣撳佢都會消失嚇。OK， 得唔得嚇？Here, just would like to share with you the corresponding implementation of different button used in this example. When you set up the button which corresponding to the cancelable button, actually you can simply use this attribute cancelable assigned with true value. Okay, then you can create a cancelable button. By default, if you do not introduce this cancelable true, then it is just a simple alert. So that when you would like to dismiss the alert, you have to click or press on the button corresponding to the alert. Okay. When you use alert, actually you can provide the two information. One is the title and the other one is the message in string format. Okay. So that when the dialog is appear, the title and the message can be displayed accordingly. Okay, according to the API, the first input is the title, and then the second string input is the message. Okay, and that is set up the button. Okay. The first one is the label of the button, close. The second one is the event handling. For this example, I simply display the button that the user clicked by means of the text here. OK， 嗱咁啊，嗰粒掣就好易搞嘅啫嚇，就冇咩特別嘅。你 set 翻個 title。set 翻個 message， 跟住加翻個粒掣。OK， 個粒掣嚟講咧兩樣嘢，第一樣嘢咧就係嗰個嘅 title， 第二樣嘢就係個 event handling。OK， 咁啊而家我就好簡單啫，總言之咧有咩事情咧就 display 翻你撳咗邊粒掣啫，係冇其他噶啦，得唔得 ？OK。咁你要令到佢變成 cancelable 咧，就 cancelable true。咁啊，你唔一定撳掣佢都會消失嘅。咁如果你唔係嘅話咧，即係呢一句嘢你唔寫嘅話咧，咁就變成普通嘅掣。你要撳嗰粒撳嗰啲 button 咧，嗰個alert 咧先會消失嚇。Okay. 就係咁嚇。On dismiss, that means once the alert is dismissed, then the message will be output on the screen by using the text. Okay. 得唔得嚇？即係如果你撳其他位唔係撳嗰粒掣，令到佢消失嘅話，你都可以有 event handling 喎，即係 on dismiss 啦，得唔得嚇？咁當然啦，你撳翻嗰粒掣令到佢消失就即係最正常嘅一個 on press 嘅一個 event handling。OK。咁其他嗰啲都係咁做嘅啫。For the other 3 remaining button, actually, this implementation is similar to the cancelable button. Instead, the 3 remaining button does not include these cancelable attributes. Okay, it simply includes the title, message, and then the button. Whenever you would add 1 or 2 or 3 buttons, you simply provide the corresponding information such as test and on press. OK， 嗱咁你即係睇下有冇需要做1粒、2粒定3粒掣啦。咁啲掣咧就會擺喺呢個 array 入邊，第3個 parameter 嗰度嚟嘅其實。OK， 咁啊1粒掣、2粒掣、3粒掣咁樣。譬如你有3粒掣嘅呢個係第1粒、第2粒同埋第3粒。OK， 嗱，咁就係咁啦。你中意嗰個 label 係乜嘢，就自己加翻落去嗰個 text 嗰度。Yes, no, cancel 得唔得嚇 ？For example 呢一個 Yes, no, cancel。OK， 就係呢個啦。呢排掣就係呢個 array 做出嚟嘅嘢，得唔得？咁嘅 title 啦，呢個 message 啦， 咁啊好容易理解其實成件事，亦都好容易用嚇。OK，maybe we can have a short break, 5 minutes break, so that we can resume the second half of this section at 10:07. Okay, in order to complete the remaining aspect, such as the layout with flexbox and then the JSON parsing. Okay. Welcome back to the second half of today's section. Just before the break, I already completed some simple illustration regarding to the core component available in React Native framework. Basically, you can see that those components are mainly focused on the UI, okay, such as the history, the alert. As mentioned, there are a number of other components that's available in React Native actually, and what I just would illustrate here is the alert, okay. 嗱，咁啊喺放 break 之前咧，其實都交代過即係一啲 component 俾大家知啦。咁個4個 categories 啦，咁只不過我喺demonstration 上高咁就會揀咗當中一啲比較大家容易啲去理解嘅即係 at least 都知道佢做緊乜啦，係咪咁例如啲 list 啊，例如啲 alert 啊咁咁譬如 others 嗰度啦，咁可能仲有其他好多嘅咁啊不能盡錄啦，係咪？OK。有興趣當然你自己可以再發掘一下嘅，得唔得嚇？即係舉個例，譬如你對呢樣有興趣嘅，咁你可以上去internet 嗰度再發掘下仲有咩其他可以做咧？咁其實都會好多㗎得唔得嚇？只不過就即係篇幅有限啦，咁啊不能介紹太多啦。OK。And then after the completion of the discussion of the core component, then now we would like to specify about the layout with the flatbox. Okay. Actually, the use of flatbox can allow you to define the layout arrangement of the UI that you are going to define. Okay. Here, just like to provide you the following 4 attributes when you use the flatbox as the algorithm for the layout design. Okay, flash direction, align items, and justify content. OK， 嗱咁跟住落嚟咧，介紹下個 layout 啦，就係關於 flatbox 嘅一個 layout。咁又係啦，咁可能即係如果大家即係有接觸過呢個嘅React 嘅或者 React Native 都好啦咁呢啲 framework 咧 suppose 應該有用過呢一樣嘢嘅，得唔得咁我頭先都講啦，咁其實係一個 layout design 嚟嘅啫，你可以咁睇咁要幫你將啲嘢擺位咁即係有唔同嘅一啲譬如方向orientation 位置咁我哋都可以用呢個 flatbox 嘅 algorithm 去幫我哋設計OK， 咁而喺剩低落嚟剩低落嚟先，咁而家嚟緊嘅時間入邊啦咁即係會同大家講4個 attribute 咯 ，flex 啦、direction 啦、align 同埋 justify 咁某一啲之前嘅生活其實都已經用過當中一啲嘅attributes 啦，其實即係如果大家有印象嘅話啦，不過唔緊要咁以下落嚟幾張 slide 咧都同大家 go through 一下當中嘅一啲概念咯，睇下可以幫你要做啲咩嘅安排咁樣OK。The first attribute that would like to illustrate here is the flex. Okay, by using these flex, actually can help you to specify how those items are going to be occupied in the available space. Okay, that means when you would like to fill up the available space by using a particular component, then you can specify the flex attribute within this flatbox design. Okay, maybe I can share with you with some simple example here. 嗱咁第一個叫 flex 啦咁講緊嘅係我哋點樣去安排一啲 UI 去用你有限嘅空間好簡單嘅啫，即係收咗佢先，呢個就係啦。OK， for example here, I just simply introduce 3 components to the user interface. Okay, or let's say 3 views. The first one, the second one, and then the third one. And the three views are simply occupy all the available space, but with different weighting. For this scenario, we can specify this with the flex attribute. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. These values just specify the weighting between these three views component. Okay, that means the flex here is just similar to the weight attributes that you can use in Android platform when you would like to introduce the weighting idea for occupying the UI within the available space. OK， 嗱呢度咧就好簡單嘅啫，即係想同大家交代翻，你啲 UI 想按某一個比例分配喺嗰個可用嘅空間入邊嘅時候咧，就用呢個 flex 啊。最簡單嘅例子，你會見到呢度啦。OK， 當你着UI 得一樣嘢嘅啫，如果樣嘢你想霸晒成個畫面嘅，你就咁 set 佢個 flash 做1，咁嗰樣嘢咧就會霸晒成個空間嘅畫面。即係當你得一樣嘢嘅時候就咁做啦，呢個最簡單㗎啦。OK， for the most simplest use of flash is that when your UI just simply contain one component, and then you would like the one and only one component can occupy the whole or entire screen, then you can set flash equal to 1, okay, as the style of the component. Therefore, you can see that this container or this view is going to occupy the entire screen for including all its child。嗱，咁你見到啦，呢個 container 嘅 style 個 flash set 咗做1，咁你睇翻佢出嚟嘅效果就係成個畫面佢就佔用晒，跟住咧仲有成個畫面咧就裝入面嘅嗰啲 child 啦，得唔得？呢個就係 flash 啦。咁而入邊個 flash 咧就 set 咗個比例，係啦，個比例係咩咧？1、2、3，用翻紅色咧又係 ，OK。咁即係話咧喺有限嘅空間入邊咧，第一個 view 咧就佔咗1份 ，OK。第二個 view 咧就佔2份，第三個 view 咧就佔3份嘅比重啊！我意思係 ，OK。所以咧，即係你咁睇啊，即係 overall 咧，呢個係1/6，2 over 6/2，3 over 6/3嘅空間，就係咁樣去分佈，得唔得嚇？呢個就係我哋叫 flex 嘅一個概念，將你可用嘅空間根據某一個 weighting 去做一個嘅distribution，OK， 得唔得啊？當然你可以改嘅，即係譬如我而家假設啫嚇，我個比例想一樣啦嚇，大家都咁高咁大，1:1:1啦，係嘛？或者我1:2:2都得啊，即係個比例你可以自己調節嘅。咁呢個就係個 flex 嘅一個用法 ，OK， 或者調翻轉啦，3:2:1亦得，係嘛？3 over 6啦，2 over 6同埋1 over 6。OK， 就係咁，呢個就係嗰個 flex 嘅一個概念，將一個可用嘅空間入邊包含住你一啲嘅 component， 而嗰啲 component 佔用嘅空間咧，就會根據某一個比重去分佈，等同於你喺 Android 上高用 weight 嘅嗰樣嘢，即係如果大家有印象啊嚇，即係或者有寫過啦嚇。Suppose 你喺 Android 上高咧，可以用一個 weight 嘅一個attribute 啦，去 specify 翻一啲 UI 又係啦，嗰個即係佔用嘅空間嘅一個比例啊。OK， 咁只不過而家改咗個名啦，或者用唔同嘅名咧，叫 flex 啦。OK。 The second attribute is the flex direction. Okay. A system, it just simply represent the direction that the UI is going to be arranged. Okay. Column, row, and then reverse. Okay. Maybe I just simply show you through the provided sample also. OK， 嗱咁跟住第二個咧就係 direction。嗱 direction 就顧名思義啦，咁啊梗係控制佢嗰個方向啦，係咪？打橫打直係咪先？啊，咁跟住嚟咧就好簡單，又係 illustrate 下佢有啲咩嘅分別啦，或者咁講下。OK。In this example, example 1, the flex direction is set as row. Okay, so that you can refer to the illustration of the emulator that all the UI are arranged in the row direction and displayed from left to right. Okay, this is the row direction. And then if you like to arrange it in column, then you can set the flex direction as column. Okay, and then the orientation is from top to bottom. Actually, it is the default one. Not apply the flex box algorithm to your layout. All the UI are also arranged from top to bottom by default. OK， 嗱呢度咧你會見到啦，關於個 UI 嘅 component 喺你個即係 layout 入邊啦，點樣擺法嗰個方向啊？所以咁就 flex direction。咩叫方向啊？上而下、左至右 ，row 定 column 得唔得啊？咁你 set 翻 row 或者 column， 咁佢就會幫你順住逐樣擺。row 咧就由左至右擺 ，column 咧就上而下擺，得唔得？嗱呢度咧就有啲似喺 Android 上嗰個 linear layout 咯，係嘛？你可以 set 翻個horizontal 或者 vertical 嘅一個 orientation 啊。只不過而家咧就係 set 做 row 同埋 column 嘅 flex direction 咁解，得唔得？咁當然啦，佢除咗即係上下左右之外啦，嚇咁亦都仲有其他嘅，例如係咩咧 ？reverse 啦 ，reverse 嘅意思咧即係下至上嘅一個 column 嘅 orientation 咯，係嘛？即係呢一個 reverse 嘅一個 column 啦 ，column 嘅 reverse 啦，咁就下而上啦，得唔得 ？OK， 咁啊當然對應翻最後嘅嗰一個啦。譬如 row reserve 咧就係 row， 不過咧右至左啦，得唔得啊 ？OK， 咁呢個就係 flex direction 嘅嗰4個選擇咯，選項啦或者 OK，in addition to general row and column flex direction, it also provides you the reverse. Okay. Therefore, we have column reverse and row reverse. For column reverse, your UI components are arranged from bottom to the top. For the row reverse, that is the one illustrated now, is arranging. Okay. That is the idea about using the flex direction to set up the direction that's going to be used for formulating your UI component in the user interface. Okay. here just would like to set up another example for you. Okay.咁呢個咧就另一個 example，咁其實都係嗰啲嘢嚟嘅，只不過咧你見到個分別就係在於嗰個flex 有冇 set 咗做1，即係係唔係即係安排晒成個畫面去 show 翻嗰啲嘢咁解嘅啫。OK， 咁多一樣啊嚇，下而上啊，上而下啊咁樣嚇。跟住又右至左啊，左至右啊咁。不過呢度咧就冇交代嗰啲 flex 嘅嗰個概念咯，嚇，就咁擺佢出嚟嘅啫。OK， 咁之前嗰個咧，你會見到有 flex 喺度嘅。Actually, you can see that example 2 also highlights the flex direction usage for you. The difference is that in example 1, flex is also used in both container and the view or inner view component. Okay, so that's all the available space are going to be occupied. And then the second example here, you can simply refer to this example. Those flex are removed. Okay, such as flex 1, 2, and 3, and the container flex equal to 1. And now removed. And then you can see that it just occupied a particular space instead of entire screen. OK， 嗱，嗰個分別就係爭個 flash 啦，頭先都講過嚇。咁你唔 flash 佢，唔 flash 1啊、2啊、3啊，咁佢咪就咁跟翻你嗰個 content 去用翻適當嘅空間嚇，得唔得嚇？你嗰個 view 幾大，咁佢就幾大啦，係嘛？嚇，咁呢個就係冇 flash 嘅效果。And then the third one is the justify content. It just helps you to specify the alignment of the children, okay, regarding to the container. Okay, maybe I can also share the implementation to you. Here, you can see that there are 6 values that can be used to set up the alignment of the children corresponding to each parent. Okay, the basic implementation of the component are also the same. For example, 3 text component. Okay. Labeled with 1, 2, and 3. Then, when we use the default setting, that means when the justify content is flat start, you can see the appearance is look like that. Okay, flat end. Now it moved to the bottom of the screen. Okay, as the alignment is based on the main axis of the current layout. That means by default, the layout is arranged vertically, okay, from top to bottom, so that when you use the default flat start, it's just same as the one if you do not provide the corresponding layout design. Okay, align at the beginning of the layout. Okay. However, if you would like to put it to the end, then use flex end. Okay. If you would like to put it in the center, then you can specify the center value towards to the justified content attribute. Okay. After that, spacing can also be introduced between those components. Space between this one. And then space around and also space evenly. Okay, these are the three values that introduce spacing between different view component of your UI. OK， 嗱咁啊呢度咧就多啲 value 選擇啦。咁啊頭先咧就即係介紹咗嗰個 direction 啦，係咪啊？不外乎左至右啊，上至下啊，右至左啊，下至上啊咁樣啦。咁而呢度咧就係關於嗰個 alignment， 講緊嘅係個 child component 點樣 align 翻去個 parents component 嗰度，得唔得嚇？你想嗰個 child component 係擺喺中間啦，擺喺開始嘅地方啦，擺喺結尾嘅地方啦，抑或平均分佈喺你 available 嘅嗰個 space 嗰度咧咁樣，咁就會有幾個唔同嘅 value 你可以揀嘅 ，OK 得唔得啊？咁頭先咧啱啱都 show 咗俾大家睇出嚟個效果㗎啦。Start 嘅嗱 default 上至下啦，如果 vertical 嘅話，咁當然如果你係 horizontal 嘅左至右咯，得唔得 ？Flash end 嘅就即係左至右，如果係即係左至右咪 flash end 嘅，由右邊開始鋪翻出嚟。咁如果係上至下嘅 flash end 嘅，下邊鋪翻上去咯。因為點解擺 align 喺下邊啦？或者咁講啦 ，OK？end 嘅 align 喺下面或者 align 喺右面。如果係即係 start 嘅 align 喺上邊或者左邊，睇翻個 orientation 係 row 定係 column 啦，得唔得 ？center 嘅都唔使問啦，嚇中間啦一定係咪？嚇 ，OK， 即係無論你左至右、右至左、上至下、左至右，你 center 親嘅都一定係中間㗎啦，得唔得？嚇 ，OK， 咁而家嗰啲 child 咧就係嗰幾個 view 啦，嚇，咁所以咧就安排翻呢幾個 view 啦，點樣 align 喺嗰個即係 screen 上高 ，OK。Actually, this text is just considered as the child of the parent screen. Okay. So that when you are using the justified content, it just arrange these three texts aligned to the parent screen in either of the setting. OK， 咁即係話而家個 child 咧就係 text 啦。咁你 set up 嗰個叫做 justify content 咧，其實就等同於 set up 呢幾個 text 點樣 arrange 翻落去嗰個主要嘅嗰個譬如畫面上高啦呢度或者嗰個 layout 上高嘅。OK。Align item 嗱，另一樣嘢啦 ，align item 咧就係另一個 access cross access。When you compare with justify content and the align item, actually they are the two attributes that the child and the parent. But content, it mainly align those components in main axis. Okay. That is the default axis. For example, flash direction, the default is vertical columns. Okay. Therefore, main axis is from top to bottom. The concept about cross axis is just, for example, the main axis is top to bottom, and then the cross axis is right to left. That means vertical and horizontal are the main and cross axis by default. Okay. On the other hand, if you set up the direction is row, then the cross axis now is column. That is idea about the so-called align column. OK， 嗱呢度咧就係想補充翻，喂有兩個 axis 嘅，其實打直嘅 vertical 嘅，打橫嘅 horizontal。其實咧佢喺呢度咧都有分嘅喎，有分嘅意思係咩咧？就係話主軸啊，就係 main axis。咁咩叫 cross axis 啊？就打另一邊咯，係嘛？譬如你個 main axis 係打動嘅，你個 cross axis 咧就會打橫啦。OK。咁調翻轉啦，如果你個 main axis 係打橫嘅，咁你嗰個 cross axis 咧就係打動，得唔得？咁佢亦都有兩個 attributes 俾你 set up 翻嗰個 alignment， 分別 main axis 就係 justify content，cross axis 就係 align item。OK， 都開一開俾大家睇嚇。Okay. Like this example, for this example, you can see that actually I didn't specify the so-called flag style. Arrange your UI component from top to bottom, so that the main axis is now in vertical orientation. Okay. For this scenario, the cross axis is now in horizontal direction, so that when you apply the align items, it is setting the alignment in the cross axis that is in horizontal orientation. Okay, that is the so-called align items means. For example, here the align, it is arranged the UI from case. Okay. Center, just located in the center in horizontal direction. Okay. And then start. Okay, that is start. That is stretch. That is a default align item value. That means by default, it will help you to stretch the view or UI component along the cross axis. Okay. 呢度你會見到有幾個 option 啦。咁start flex end 呢啲都係跟翻個 cross axis 嘅，即係而家 main axis 係上而下打動 vertical 噶嘛，咁個 cross axis 即係 horizontal 打橫噶咯喎，所以咧你 set 個 align item 嘅時候咧，譬如你可以打橫去擺翻喺左至右開頭嘅咁樣，係嘛？右至左就係 flex end 啦，因為而家嗰個 cross axis 係 horizontal 噶嘛，得唔得？即係你 suppose 要砌嘅時候，咁你要有個概念就係佢有分 main axis 同 cross axis 咯。default 就係 vertical 同 horizontal。但係舉個例，譬如你即係喺呢度，你 set 晒喺個中間嘅， 喺個啱講 set 喺嗰個嘅process 中間就咁樣 set。咁當然啦，你可以再加埋個 justify 嘅，唔得嚇，即係你可以兩樣都有。如果你想將嗰個 view 啦set as 你成個畫面嘅正中間咧，咁你就要安排呢兩樣嘢俾佢啦。Main axis 同埋 cross axis 都喺中間，咁佢就會擺喺你正中央啦，得唔得？Whenever you would like to put the view at the center of the entire screen, then you can use both justify content and the align items. Okay, then it will be put at the center of your screen in both main and cross axis. Okay. Okay, it is just a simple illustration about the use of the 4 attributes in Flatbox algorithm or UI design. Okay, the flash direction, justify content, and the align items, so that you can control where the components are being positioned within your device screen. Okay. Lastly, just would like to share with you about how to work with JSON file. Actually, the JSON file can be provided locally or from the internet. Okay. The first implementation that would like to share with you about parsing the JSON file that's stored locally in your project folder. Okay. Here, if your JSON file is just stored at the same folder or directory regarding to the app.js file, that means the two programs, the two files, the JSON file and the .js file are being put within the same folder, then you can simply access it by this statement: import from. That is how we can obtain we can access the JSON file that's saved within your project structure. Okay.嗱，咁我哋如果要玩 JSON 嘅時候，咁我哋喺 tutorial 入邊咧就介紹咗點樣 fetch from internet 啦，係嘛？咁除咗呢個之外，咁有時可能你個 JSON file 係同你個 program 擺埋一齊嘅，咁你點樣用咧？係嘛？咁好簡單嘅啫 ，import 就得啦。假設係同一個 folder 就係咁樣寫咯。當然啦，你可以擺喺譬如一個file folder 係嘛？咁你就可以 file folder 入邊有 fruits.json 嘅，咁改個 relative path 俾佢就得噶啦。OK， 得唔得？咁而呢個 import statement 除咗話你 from 邊一個 file 之外咧，你要俾翻個名佢啊，係咪？咁咧 import 俾翻個名佢之後咧，咁呢個 JSON 入邊嘅 content 咧就可以透過呢個名去用翻，得唔得嚇？因為你唔俾名，你 import 翻嚟之後咁用唔到嘅喎。OK， 咁記得啦。咁俾個名咧，你咩名都得嘅 ，import ABC 又得，DEF 咁，但係都係有意義嘅就比較容易啲睇啦，成件事。OK。And once you import the JSON file with a particular name, then you can simply use this name in order to access the content of the JSON file. Okay. 我唔記得黐翻嗰個 JSON file 嗰個 structure 俾大家睇啊。不過 anyway 緊要嘅嚇。I simply say forgot to attach the JSON file structure for you. Maybe I just update it afterwards. OK， 咁可能就漏咗個 JSON 嘅嗰個 file 嘅一個 sample 啦嚇。咁我之後咧會補翻上去俾大家嚇。OK， 嗱咁呢度咧都想交代翻啦嚇，頭先都講啦，你用 import statement 就可以import 一個 JSON 落你個 program 嗰度嘅。咁呢個 fruit 係個名嚟嘅啫嚇。可以改嘅，得唔得呢個 fruit？ 咁你俾咗個名佢之後咧，下低就用噶啦，得 OK。好啦，咁喺用嘅時候咧，就同之前交代嗰個tutorial example 啦係一樣噶，咁都係靠個點啦 ，OK。逐個攞，或者如果你係一抽嘢嘅時候咧，嗱呢度咧又介紹另一樣嘢啦 ，map 咯。After we have introduced about how to import a JSON content from local JSON file to your application program, then it comes to the use of map. Okay, actually, you can simply think of this fruit is just an array that's stored within the JSON file. Okay, then how we obtain those data from a fruit array, we can use map here in order to help you to map to select those items and map it to a text component. Okay, and display those items details.嗱呢度咧想交代多一件事就係，喂咁我如果喺嗰個 local file 度攞咗個fruits 嘅一個 JSON 翻嚟，咁我點樣可以喺入邊逐個 array 嘅 data 攞嘢咧？咁樣嗱，又去到 array data 係咪啊？咁今次咧介紹一個 map 啦。咁呢個咧非常咁簡單。我哋通常如果你要 access 一個 array 入邊嘅嘢咧，咁我哋可能好多時都會見到用 map 嘅，得唔得？map 咧佢亦都可以幫你逐件拎佢出嚟 ，OK？ 咁我哋喺即係呢個example入邊睇到就係透過 map 啦，逐個 data 攞翻嚟之後咧就 put 落去個 text 嗰度。咁呢個 text 咧就會裝住個 ID 名同埋 color 啦，關於嗰個 item 嘅 data 就見到啦。誒唔使用 loop 喺呢度係嘛？即係舉個例，譬如你可能寫之前 Java 嘅 program， 咁你要 access 個 array 嘅，咁好多時譬如我哋用個 loop 啦，不如係嘛 ？for ID 1 4個dot length 或者 dot size 咁，跟住逐個砌係咪？但係呢度咧就即係另一個寫法就叫 map 啦。咁個概念差唔多嘅啫，佢都係喺呢個 fruit 嘅 array 嗰度咧，逐個 fruit 咁碌翻出嚟，只不過多咗個所謂 map 嘅概念，就係 map 落去嗰個 text 嘅 component 嗰度。OK， 咁呢個就係個 map 啦，就取代咗個 loop 啦，得唔得嚇？佢都係有個效果啊，逐樣拎出嚟，逐個 item。Fruits 其實入邊就會擺低咗有 ID 名同 color， 即係嗰個生果嘅 ID 啦、名啦同埋顏色啊。咁啊逐個 item 攞出嚟嘅時候就可以砌翻落個 text 嗰度啦，然後 list 翻呢個畫面出嚟。OK， 呢個就係 map 啦。OK， 咁記得啦嚇，都係一個比較會 用到嘅一個即係 function 啦，你可以咁睇嚇。尤其是當你有一集 data 你想即係 iterate 佢嘅時候啦，咁你可以用 map 啦。OK。咁叫 map 啦嚇，因為都會比較常用啲嚇。And then this one is just similar to the last week tutorial. Just use the fetch function in order to access a JSON file that's available on the internet. Okay, and then through the response and set data, the JSON file can be obtained and set up the corresponding data. Okay, this one is just the JSON file content. OK， 嗱呢度咧咁見過㗎啦，應該類似嘅，我哋係之前有做過一啲 example 俾大家睇，俾大家睇過嘅。咁就係話我哋如果嗰個 file 唔係擺喺你個 program 隔離嘅喎，係透過一個 URL 流翻嚟嘅喎，咁你就 fetch 啦。fetch 嘅時候咧，咁都係嗰樣嘢啦嚇，你記得俾翻個 data source 佢啦，係咪即係我意思係個 JSON file 嚇。咁你透過 response 就攞到即係一啲資料啦嚇。OK， 咁跟住咧就透過 JSON 呢個字啦，咁就將你撈翻嚟嗰個 JSON file 嘅一啲資料啦，就 set 咗落去個 data 嗰度，得唔得？咁呢個當然係 function component 配合埋個 set use state 嘅一個hook 啦。OK， 跟住咧呢度咧就係想講配合個 fetch list 啦。嗱，都係嗰句，你用 map 都得㗎嚇，得唔得啊？咁即係睇下你個需要啦，係咪 ？Actually, in this example, it also use flat list, okay, as same as the tutorial last week. But you can still use the map in order to show up the data. It depends. For example, if you would like to display those data and support the scrolling effect, then you can use flat list. In previous example, actually, it just simply use the map function together with the text component to show all the data. But for this implementation, it does not support the scrolling interaction. That means it depends. If you ensure that the data are simply listed out and do not require any scrolling, then you can use this map method. On the other hand, if the listing of the item is too much, okay, then you have to use the flat list in order to support the scrolling effect, so that all the items can be viewed, even they cannot be fully displayed on the screen. OK， 嗱呢度咧，咁好簡單去俾大家有個概念就係，喂咁有 flat list map 又得喎，咁點算啊？咁呢個就視乎翻你嘅情況啦。即係如果你 ensure 到喂你啲嘢都唔多嘅，一定係 list 收得晒嘅，唔需要 support呢個 flat list 嘅，咁你咪 map 完之後咧就砌翻落個 text 嘅 component 嗰度，咁就完成，係嘛？咁但係咧，即係如果你唔 sure 佢幾長，如果佢長得就係你要 support scrolling 嘅，咁你就要用翻 list view 嘅一啲 component，例如 flat list 啦咁樣咯，得唔得？咁呢個就係當中嘅嗰個概念咯。咁記住啦，即係當你有一個 array， 你要access 入邊啲 data， 繼而要 plot 佢出嚟，即係要 display 佢用一啲 UI 嘅 map 又得，係嘛 ？flat list 都得，就 depends on 你嘅需要同埋實際嘅情況嚇。OK， and then now basically all the material or units for this course are already completed. Okay, and what I would like to remind you that is you will be provided with a take-home assignment at 31st of May, and the date is already sent through email before. Okay, if there is an update, I will let you know through email and the course news. OK， 咁最後提一提大家嚇，記得我哋31號朝頭早9點就會發放一份 take home assignment 俾大家做嘅。OK， 咁有一啲新嘅 update 嘅資料啊，或者消息啊，就會透過電郵同埋呢個 course news， 即係呢度啊。course 嘅 course news 就會發放俾大家，得唔得 ？OK， 咁呢個記得啦嚇。咁當然啦，咁大家亦都唔記得有一個嘅 project 要交啦，係咪？咁 deadline 咧就應該係今個禮拜日夜晚12點，咁你就需要將即係嗰3樣嘢嚇 video 啦、documentation 啦，同埋成個 project 嘅 soft copy 啦 ，submit 上去我哋呢個 assignment submission 嘅 system 嗰度嘅。OK， 咁記得啦嚇，咁係剩得呢兩樣啫。咁至於即係測驗2嘅，咁應該就會喺你做 take home assignment 之前，我會 send 俾大家 confirm， 跟住出 OCAS 嘅，得唔得？都係要留意 email 啦，得唔得嚇 ？OK， 咁呢個係最後嘅一個 reminder。Actually, for the test 2, I will release the score before you start your take home assignment. Okay.And all these kinds of information, updates, news will be notified you by using your OUXK email account, and also the course news that's available within your OLE account. Okay, please remember to check your email or course news regularly. Okay, that is what I would like to elaborate in this last tutorial section. Okay, and the whole course are already completed. Okay, up to this moment for this tutorial section. Okay, if you have any problems, queries, or would like to clarify on certain kinds of issue, you can just send me an email. OK， 咁最後啦，如果大家有咩問題，有咩即係唔清楚嘅地方，咁大家都可以 send email 俾我，咁我會再逐一去幫大家解答嚇，即係答到嘅話啦，當然係咪？即係有啲 case 咁我都會即係舉個例，譬如喂，咁你問啲題目嘅答案咁我未必答到你噶嘛，係咪先嚇？咁即係答到嘅，咁我都會盡可能去幫大家解答，得唔得？OK， 咁去到呢刻咧，咁成科for 呢一個譬如 P01嘅，咁基本上都完晒㗎啦嚇。咁剩低2樣嘢要交都係嗰句嚇 ，project 星期日夜晚12點，跟住 take home assignment 就5月31號9點，跟住做到6月1號嘅8點59分之後做。OK， 咁都係嗰句嚇，有任何最新嘅消息，我會透過 email 同埋 course news 去公佈嘅。咁記得呢啲嘢啦。OK， 得唔得 ？OK。Lastly, just thanks for joining this course and attending all the tutorial and lecture section for this semester years. Okay.